Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I have got this fantastic collection of Christmas and holiday stamps from our friends at Woodware Craft Collection. They feature these adorable little gnomes on many of them. Let me just go through these really quick. This one is the Christmas tree gnome. This one's hanging hearts, Christmas strips, which are these really cool little words, little captions, that you can even break up depending on how you ink them. This one is the tall tree gnome, and of course this is the rejoice. I can't wait to show you what I did with these. I spent all yesterday playing with them, so come play with us. So this is the tall tree gnome, and it seemed perfect to put him on a slimline card. If you recall, slimline cards are 3.5 by 8.5, and just a couple of things here that made this a little easier for me. I love using, of course, this Misty stamping platform, and because I used some wonderful tri-blend markers for this, which are alcohol based, then I wanted to make sure to use an ink pad that would work well with that. So I chose the Memento. We also carry the alcohol proof ink by Spectrum Noir. I just didn't happen to grab it, but I'll link both of those below in the products used. Let's see, what can I tell you about this one? I covered my slimline card first with Joyful Christmas 12 by 12 pattern cardstock. Use this cute little green right up here. We also have this in 6 by 6, which would have been a little tricky for the slimline, but I just want to make sure that you knew that we had it in that size as well. And then, as I said, I used some tri-blend markers, and let's see, I did not use this one. I used everything else here. Let's see, I used the, nope, got rid of the wrong one. I used the light green blend for my tree, and I've got the dark green, the true blue, the ice gray, the citrus, which is a beautiful yellow, and that was it. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to grab the fair skin one, and I did that for his little nose. I also added, it comes with several greetings here, but I also wanted to feature the Christmas strips, so I just added one right over here to give you my cute little Merry Christmas. So I think that's it on that one. So let's see, let's move on to, I think this one. So for this one, the hanging hearts was really fun to use. For my background on this card, excuse me, I used our blue glitter cards. Nope, gonna have to get a drink of water. The cards come already scored and with envelopes, so they're easy to fold. And then I went back to the beautiful 12 by 12 Joyful Christmas, and I added this great blue plaid. And then I wanted to do a little coloring here, so I went ahead and stamped this. And I wanted to show you how I colored my little bluebird. And so my bluebird, you've never used Spectrum Noir pens, these tri-blends. They have 3 pens in one. And what I like to do, I am by no means an expert at coloring. I just do the best I can, which is what I always tell people when they're starting off with these pens. And what I'm going to do is I'm using the darkest pen, and I'm just putting it like along the wing right here, just doing some shading along the top of the bird, at the top of the feathers, kind of the edges of the breast of the bird, and then on the wing. Then I'm going to take the medium color, and I'm just going to color out a little bit and blend on those darker pieces, those darker areas. Just doing that little shading, just like that. All right, then I'm gonna color in this whole wing. All right, now we're gonna go to the light. And we're gonna go ahead and color this whole bird. And then I'm going to go back over the bird with the medium color. I think I have a set, several sets of these that I work with. And I have a home set and I have a work set, an office set. And I think I grabbed the home set that is kind of like my secondary set, and this one's a little drier than I would like. You can just hear it squeaking like crazy, and I think that's because, yeah, pretty darn sure I grabbed the wrong pen, but we'll make it work. So I'm going to go back to the mid. I'm just going to go through with that. A little more color, a little more blending. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my lighter color and just really blend the lines between the medium and the light. I'm really having to scrub because this pen is just not, the light one is just not great. I'll tell you, what I'm going to do is right when I'm done, I'm going to go back to the warehouse and grab a new one of these. Oh, it's terrible. It's like on a chalkboard. All right. Oh, that's going to have to do it on that. Can't take it anymore. But it's not quite blended like I like. Oh. All right. Sorry, you guys. That was rough. Whew. All right. So let's go to the red one. I'm going to show you how to color one of these hearts. So what I like to do is put a little bit of the dark down at the bottom. All right, and then a little bit on one shoulder. And then use the medium or the mid, and I'm just gonna kind of work my way up. You can tell this one works much better because it's not squeaking. And then the light, I do on the other shoulder and just kind of blend that all together. So it kind of goes from dark to light as it goes up. All right, let's do the dull green holly. Same thing, dark color at the base. Maybe we can zoom in a little, Steve. And then mid or medium color. Blending that into the darker, and then we're going to right up to the light at the end. Light is because at the end of the leaf, there we go, just that little highlighted color. So, and then I just went ahead and I wanted to do some tearing, all right? So for tearing, when I'm trying to do a tear of a little bit of a shape, I was just trying to shoot for kind of an oval. I like to just hold it like this and do small tears around like that. Kind of a controlled tear. There we go. I should have left a little bit more at the top because I did stamp my greeting up here, right? And then what I wanted to do is just kind of take my black ink pad and just sort of run it along the edge just like that. Not like heavily inked, just a little bit like that. So it's just getting a little bit of that ink. All right, and I put that on there, and then I added a little green ribbon. This comes from the green ribbon set, and I used the gingham. And I just put that right under the bird. I just wanted a little bit of ribbon on there. Frankly, wasn't really sure where to put it. Could have put some little tiny bows on each of the hearts, but I just didn't want to tie that many bows. So I just put one right here, and I was really happy with how that looked. Now you could also add on this, have our glitter brush, which is the clear sparkle brush pen. Okay, and if you've not seen this before, there's a little mechanism here that you take out. It's a little red, little yellow band. You take that out, yellow or green, and then you squeeze this, and the clear glitter ink is going to come out, and then you can just put that right on your hearts. And you can just brush it very quickly. It's going to dry in just a few minutes. And it's going to leave just the prettiest little touch of sparkle on there. Normally I would do this before I put my bow on. Go, and right there. And if you just do the berries, just do a little touch on there. So cute. See if we can see how that's shining already. Oh, grab the light. There we go. See on those little hearts. Go. Okay, so that's a fun one to do. All right, what should we do next? Oh, yes. This one, the Rejoice, which is just this really beautiful nativity. So what I did on this one, I started off with just a blank Slimline card and went ahead and stamped the image on there. And then I took my blender brushes, okay, and we have 2 sets of these. We have 3 set that has a larger surface, and then we have a set of black brushes that are a set of 4 that also, I think the largest one's about this big, and it goes down to the tiniest little brush. So I'll make sure and link both of those so you can decide for yourself what kind you want. And I used French Navy on this and just wanted to add some around the edge there using the largest brush. And then I went ahead and added a little bit of just old-fashioned Stickles gold glitter glue, tried and true, and just added some of those in that star above and some sparkles. Then I stamped the image again, and I like to use Hunky Dory's Stampin' White cardstock, which I'll also link in our products used. It just stamps and inks beautifully. And I cut this, I went ahead and colored that and then cut this out and then put some foam tape on the back of it. And we have like many kinds of foam tape, but I wanted to show you guys the wheel of foam tape that we have. And also, if you just like these little pre-cut squares, we have those as well. Those will also be in the products used. And then I just put that foam taped piece and aligned those edges and put that right over the top. And then I've got these thin line dazzle stickers, which are just beautiful. And I wanted to just put some strips down the center, the side here next to the fold. And just to add a little bit more sparkle. So I'm going to start by going about 1/4 inch from the edge. Just trying to get that line straight. I like to usually put a like a mat or something, cutting mat that has lines on it, and then it kind of helps gauge if you're doing this straight, but we're just gonna wing that. All right, there's one there, and it's not going all the way to the bottom, and that's okay because I don't want it to go all the way to the bottom. I'm just gonna kind of stagger these lengths. So for this one, I'm gonna put this one right here. This one's really beautiful. It's a little bit like a chain. Okay. And I think we'll do one more. I'm trying to get ones that are pretty different. Oops. Go. And this one I'm going to put right there. And then we're just going to take our little scissors, just trim those off. And then from this little set here with the little Christmas strips, cut ahead and cut off some of these. This one's Rejoice. That comes with the stamp set. And I just took my ink pad. This is the Arctic Mist. And I went ahead and just did a little bit along the bottom edge of that, just to give it a little color. And then I'm going to overlap that. But because this is foam taped, and I want to make sure I have a little bit of foam tape there and then a little bit of glue here. This is the Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue, which we love. And that's just going to get overlapped like right like that. And then I've got these two. There's Peace and Love. So that one's going to go right there. Make sure I'm getting these on here straight. And there's Love. There we go. All right, that one's finished. I should mention too, just above the baby Jesus, I just put a little bit more of the Sparkles gold glitter glue, and then I just took my finger and kind of broke it up a little bit so it wasn't a solid line. There we are. Okay, that was a fun one. All right, and then for this last one, I've got, this one is the Christmas tree gnome. Yes, this is the Christmas tree gnome. And for this one, I went ahead and I wanted to make a window card, all right? So for this one, maybe we can zoom out a little bit, Steve. I feel like we're a little blurry. Maybe zoom out and that'll unblur us. So for this one, to cut the window in, that I used our 12 oval and scalloped cutting dies. And for those of you who don't have, this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card. So that's going to be a problem if you have a 6-inch wide die cutting machine. So I have a solution for you there. This is what I did. I have a Big Shot at home. So I have like a 6 and 1/8 inch platform, I think. So you just take your card, your blank card like this, and you're going to put your die here. You should put some low tack tape on it, which I did not grab, of course. And then we're just going to take a piece of scrap cardstock and we're going to put that right over the top of that. And we're going to take the bottom of our first card, and we're wrapping it around like that. And then we're just going to put it through our die cutting machine, right? So when you take that off, you're going to have, this is the scrap paper, it's going to have an imprint on it. But this is going to be die cut and you're going to have this nice window. So you would do that after you've covered that with your plaid paper, which of course comes from the Joyful Christmas as this wonderful little plaid. So do your plaid paper, then die cut the oval. So here's the thing, on the back of my card, I had this kind of oval imprint, which I didn't want anybody to see that. So I went ahead and took my colored image and I cut that down and matted it on a little black and I glued that to the back. So that looks very nice now and I'm happy with that. Now on the inside of my card, I want to take a little bit of, this is Snowfall acetate. You can buy this by the sheet at Paper Wishes with all the other goodies that I'm showing you, of course. And I'm going to make this a little snowfall window. I put that right in there. That. And then, because I don't want this to show, I've cut out another piece of white here so that it's got a nice finished look when the recipient opens it. They don't need to see that I've glued that in there for my window. And then I'm going to just align that right there so it's covering. And I want to make sure that that new oval isn't showing on the front. So yep, that's good. Just making sure that that's nice and flat. Okay. So now you have this cute little snowfall window, oops, right there. And then on the outside here, I put some primary thin line Jewel Dazzle stickers. Come in yellow, black, brown, green, red, blue. Of course, I used the red here. And I just put just strips of them like this. And then I stamped a whole bunch of these cute little stars right here and colored those with the citrus, the yellow pen, and then glued them in clusters of 3 here and then foam taped one and glued this one. And then once I got everything done, I decided I wanted a little sparkle, so I went back and I just touched up my stars with a little bit of the clear sparkle brush, just like this, just a little bit there. And then I stamped my little greeting. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and then just foam taped that so it's overlapping, and then added a little star there. Of course, then on the inside, I colored this with my light green for the tree and my dark red and then the ice gray and the true blue and then the citrus. And for the star, I stamped this twice and then just foam taped it to the top so it had a little dimension there in the window. And then went back and I just added a little sparkle pen to my hearts right here. This little piece right here, it's got these little circles, and I went back and I added these little Woodware craft dies, and they have the most adorable little circles that fit perfectly there. And I used my red sparkle glitter paper, and I just took a little scrap of it and went through and just made all these cute little circles. And then I just took a little ball tool, and which of course I forgot to grab, and I just made a little dome, rubbed that a little bit so it was a little concave dome, and I glued them on there so they're like a little bit puffy. And yeah, that was it. So pretty happy with how that one turned out too. All right, you guys, so we have got a great money saver on this collection of this Woodware stamps. They are so precious and so fun for Christmas. So I would encourage you to take a look on the right-hand side of our screen if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page. And down below this video, there is a gallery with full color photo and supply lists for everything used here. Below that, there is a products used list where you can put everything directly into your cart if you just want one stamp or you just want the glitter or whatever. If you're watching us on YouTube, we haven't forgot about you. Look below the video in the description box and you'll see a link to paperwishes.com, and it will take you right to that page where you can see everything I just mentioned. And if you liked any part of this video, give us a thumbs up. It really helps people find us. And hey, subscribe, because we do 3 to 5 of these videos a week. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.